Good morning. This is Wayne Walder. I'm the minister at the Neighborhood congregation, and I have your announcements today. On Monday, the Spirit Choir Song Circle will start at 7 o'clock and go to 8:30. The theme of lighting our way home, and all are welcome. On Wednesday of this coming, uh, uh, on every Wednesday, conscious movement classes from 10:15 to 11:30 are going on. And if you have any questions, just contact Phyllis Daniel, and her email is there. Also ongoing at Neighborhood, meditation on Zoom from 7:30 to 8:30, either with myself or Jillian Heggie. It's for beginners and intermediates for 1 hour. On Wednesday, Thursday, the Sandwich Sisters. You can fight poverty by preparing sandwiches for local charities. This is supported by our committee, our Social Action and Environmental Committee. You can see Suzanne for details, and Suzanne is our music director, and her details will be coming in our Monday mailing. On Thursday, the singing meditation goes on from 7 to 8:30 via Zoom. You can join Fred Maycock, Phyllis Daniel, and Suzanne Mazars in meditation chants and songs, and connect to each other and the divine within and around us. And there's Suzanne's contact information. Next Sunday, just before the Sunday service, the Child Caregiver Program goes on from 9 to 9:30 with Zachary Getchell. It's just before our Sunday Zoom service, and I tuned in today and saw Zach working very hard and very well with several children. Until December 25th, you can buy a tree and support Out of the Cold. The Christmas trees are being sold just outside our new location at 310 Danforth at Eastminster. And I found out that tree selling that goes on outside the church building will probably offer more than $15,000 to the Out of the Cold program this year. Winter Blues. Every year we have a service for those of us who struggle a little bit. It's to honor the feelings, sadder feelings, or maybe grief at this time of year. Speakers, it would be myself and Peter Marmorick. Music will be Suzanne Mazars, Doug Crozier, and Rebecca Getchell. And the service leader is Anna DiFelice. Come celebrate our 20th anniversary in Zoom, Neighborhood's Slice of Life. Save the date, Sunday, December 25th from 7 to 8:30. We plan to have music, ritual, and pie. One of my favorites, by the way. Are you willing to join us on Zoom? What we need from you before this event is your slice of life at Neighborhood. Send your favorite pictures from events over the years and a favorite pie recipe to McKinley Renzetti at gmail.com by December 23rd, I think that says. And I'm sending pumpkin pie. I just made a new one. Lifespan Learning needs you these times. We are living in challenging times. And now more than ever, we need your ideas and input to keep our programs fresh and inviting. Also, as we head into the new year and look forward to co-creating a dynamic program for our new home, we hope you'll consider joining our initiative and this committee as your way of giving to our community. And just so you know, our Lifespan Learning community is set up as a committee with Deb Berdazan, Phyllis Daniel, Tara Rose Farrell, Zach Getchell, Jessica Keotesi, Kim Knudsen, Gail Reynard, and Joan Walder. And you can contact them, and that contact will be in our Monday mailing. Next week is not today's theme is Home is Where the Heart Is, and a message of inspiration is by myself, and music is with our guest vocalist Alan Gasser. Now, Fred Maycock had a special announcement too that I think we need to have made.
Thank you. As our renovation continues, we find we need one more committee. All the other committees have done a great job getting us this far. Now we need to name our rooms. We, the Unitarian Universalist congregation, like to put names of famous Unitarians or on the room. So we need to do this for our new location. So I need 2 or 3 people that would like to decide on this, and and you can contact me. Thank you so much. Bye for now.
Welcome to our Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation service on Zoom. We welcome you here as we stay emotionally and spiritually close in times when we need to stay physically apart. My name is Dave Renzetti, and I will be your service leader here today. Our minister is the Reverend Wayne Walder, and our music director, Suzanne Mazeris, is off today. So we are delighted to have the music of Alan Gosser here today. Zach Getchell facilitates our Sunday child care program and will share a time for all ages. We also would like to thank Catherine Campbell and Lyndon Thomas for doing our web hosting. Thank you very much, all of you. Some Zoom etiquette. Just remember to stay muted, keep chat open for readings and lyrics, and don't send chat messages to everyone during the service, please. The service is being recorded for both public and on YouTube, and for our new website. Joys and concerns and similar personal items will be edited. If you have privacy concerns, turn off your camera. Sacred space and cyberspace are strange bedfellows and incredibly frustrating sometimes. Now we have nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. So shut off your other apps, please. Put your devices on Do Not Disturb or airplane mode. Today's theme is Home is Where the Heart Is. This is our threshold moment. Let our hearts come home here, now, as we enter sacred space together. Let our service begin now. As we light our chalice, I encourage you to light your own personal chalice, or considering holding your hands in the shape of a chalice. And I ask our minister to light our chalice as we sing. Oh, Zach is gonna light our chalice. Thank you, Zach.
We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts.
Now for our musical prelude, Alan Gosser will play Leave a Little Light in My Window.
I chose the wrong song for this, but it's so beautiful. I thought I was choosing a Weird Sisters song about December 6th, but it turns out it's tender and appropriate, and it has to do with finding home. Leave a Little Light, it's called. Low, 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 low. Leave a little light in the window, I might be home. Leave a little light by the back doors too. Leave a little light in the stairway up to your room. Hope a little light is still shining in your eyes. When you think of me, when you think of me, if you still do, leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. I might be home. Did a lot of wondering, did a lot of filling in, did a lot of questioning why and where I should go. Soon as I've got the strength, heading for an open space, heading for a better place where I might find me. Leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. I might be home. Did a lot of wondering, did a lot of filling in, did a lot of questioning why and where I should go. Soon as I have got the strength, heading for an open space, heading for a better place where you might find me. Leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. I might be home. Leave a little light in the window. I might be home. Leave a little light by the back door. Do leave a little light in my window. Up to your room. Hope a little light is still shining in your eyes. When you think of me, when you think of me, if you still do, leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. Leave a little light in the window. I might be home. I might be home. I might be home.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Home is indeed where the heart is. But let us please acknowledge that our homes are on the traditional lands of the Wendat, the Anishinaabe, the Mississauga, the Haudenosaunee, and the Ojibwe Chippewa nations. Indigenous people have been acknowledging the land at the beginning of their services for time immemorial. A land acknowledgement is a way to recognize the enduring presence of Indigenous people. And it's also a reminder to us that we are accountable to these relationships. If you are visiting us for the first time, a special welcome. Please stay around after service. And if you don't join the breakout room and stay in the main room, our minister and other staff will be there to talk to you about what we are all about. Our mission is to empower spiritual growth and do shared action for the care of our world. I have a reading today for us. It is a poem by Gunilla Norris, and it's entitled Paying the Bills. Here are the bills again. I always dread them a little. They are familiar presences, first in the mailbox, then in the bill drawer, now on my desk. Services rendered. My life is dependent on services rendered. Somehow I am glad to pay Richard for the plowing and Chick for the plumbing, Walter for fixing my roof. I know them. They make my life possible. It is harder to pay the faceless ones, the ones behind these white envelopes. Here are the lives behind the heat, the light, and the telephone, behind the counters and the computers. I want to learn to feel a friendliness towards them. I want to acknowledge them. When I am writing my checks, I want to feel that I am returning energy in the form of money, for energy given in the form of service. It is all your energy. We are only each other's way to share in that great service, which is your life. Pour it out continually for us, all, without exceptions. Guard me against the arrogance of privilege, against the indulgence of feeling I don't have enough, and the poverty of spirit that refuses to acknowledge what is daily given me. Keep me truthful in knowing where I spend, where my values actually are. Let me not skip this monthly knowing. Instruct me in judicious spending and in gratitude with no holds barred. I want always to give thanks and acknowledgement to the ones I know who help my life, and to the faceless ones whom I will never know. Traditionally, at this time in service, we ask you to turn to your neighbors and greet them. But now, instead, briefly unmute your device, switch to gallery view, and let's have a greeting for those around you. A sound will chime at the end.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Hi, Pat.
Ellen, that was a great
David,
song,
hi,
Ellen.
Chris.
I loved it.
Hi, Allison.
Hi.
Hi, Kurt.
Michelle, happy birthday, Michelle.
Hi,
Hi,
everyone.
Hey,
Hi,
Rose.
Kim.
Hi,
Hi.
Debbie.
Hi,
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, John.
Meeting
Hi,
at
Kim.
Lister. Hi, John.
Hi.
Me.
Tim.
Susan.
Sharon.
Hi.
Mary,
Scott.
Hi, Mary. Hi,
Chris and
everybody.
Mary.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, David. Hi, Beata.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi,
And
Rose. Mel.
Thanks, Steve.
Hi, Faith. Hi,
Hello.
Jesse. Hi, Brody.
Hi, Kurt.
The subway door is now closing, people. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the extra time, Dave.
No worries. They always like. Now I invite you to join me in the reading of our opening words. Let us cast a circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here, a space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love. If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life, a life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families. And now, as we hold this place open to grace and insight, please join Alan, who will perform hymn 407. We are going to sit at the welcome table.
We've learned over the last months to pay attention to our pronouns. And I'm going to pay attention to the pronouns I and we. They actually are important which one you choose. I do want us all to be together, but I want to be attentive to where this song comes from. An oppressed class of people who sometimes had to choose for themselves, in the way that invocation said, whether they would be welcomed. So we all get to choose, and one of the later verses, we all get to sit together. That's going to be great. I'm going to sit at the welcome table. 2, 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna sit at the welcome table. Yes, I'm gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days. Hallelujah. I'm gonna sit at the welcome table. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days. Feast on milk and honey. Let's go. I'm gonna feast on milk and honey. Yes, 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 I'm gonna feast on milk and honey. One of these days, hallelujah. I'm gonna sit at the wheel, a piece of milk and honey now. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days, one of these days. All God's children, all God's children gonna sit together. Yes, all God's children gonna sit together one of these days, hallelujah. All God's children gonna sit together. Gonna sit at the welcome table one of these days, one of these. I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing in the heavenly choir. Yes, yes, yes. I'm gonna sing in the heavenly choir one of these days. Hallelujah. I'm gonna sing in the heavenly choir. Gonna sing in the heavenly choir one of these days. Gonna sit at the welcome. Gonna sit at the welcome table. Oh, one of these days, one of these days.
Thank you, Alan. And now, for all the young and young at heart, please come up and get close to your screen because Zach is going to have a time for all ages.
Good morning, everybody. So it's the first week of December, and this month our theme is lighting our way home. And when we came up with this in July, we thought it would be great for lighting our way into our new building, which we were hoping to get into in January. I'm sure you all know this. But I think it's really interesting to be talking about right now, at the end of 2020, in the middle of a pandemic, as lockdowns are starting to happen again. And now we're lighting our way home. Home, where we've been stuck for months and where we're going to continue to be for who knows how long. It made me think that we need to take another look at what home is. So what is home to you or to us? Is it the building we live in or the apartment inside the building in some cases? Is home the people we love or is it a feeling in your heart? Is home limited to any one of those things? There are so many quotes about home. I could spend the next year here, sitting here, finding them and reading them out to you, but I'm not going to do that. I have gone through many, and I've come to think that a home is and can be many things, like with so many other things in life. It can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. So what does home mean to you? I was reminded of a story I know about someone who learns a bit about what home means to them. This story takes place in the 100-Acre Wood. It's a story about a small creature named Roo. Roo had always lived in his mama kangaroo's pouch, as all young kangaroos do. It was snuggly and warm, and Roo could nap while they traveled if he wanted to. But one day, Roo thought he was getting a bit too big for mama's pouch. He wanted to go places he wanted to go, not just where mama took him. While he was thinking of this, Roo saw his friend Rabbit running by, chasing a seed that was flying through the air. "Why was that seed flying through the air?" Roo asked. "I thought seeds live in the ground." Rabbit said, "And they do, but first sometimes they take a trip, just to find the best home for them to grow, somewhere where there's plenty of dirt, sunshine, and lots of room to grow." Rabbit then showed Roo his collection of seeds and told him all about how they traveled. Roo learned about how dandelion and maple seeds fly through the air on the wind. He learned about how coconut seeds float through the water, and he learned about how cocklebur seeds ride through the woods on other creatures' fur. Roo became even more excited about traveling on his own. After all, didn't he need room to grow too? Roo thanked Rabbit and darted off excitedly. He couldn't wait to share what he had learned with his friends. He first ran into Pooh Bear, and he told him all about the flying dandelion seeds. "Pooh, do you think we could fly your balloon together for a while?" "What a good idea," said Pooh, who went to blow up his balloon. Once it was tied, he and Roo took hold of the string and they started to float up into the air. I'm flying, shouted Roo, just like a dandelion seed. I prefer to think of us as a little black rain cloud, said Pooh, as they floated up past a beehive. There was a buzz of bees and then pop! The two friends were back together on the ground. Roo stood up a bit disappointed. Thank you for helping, Pooh, but maybe flying isn't the best way for me to travel. Next, Roo went to visit Piglet. He told Piglet all about how some seeds float before excitedly asking, could we try and float down the stream for a bit in your upside-down umbrella? Piglet, who always tries to be helpful, said certainly, found the umbrella and gave it to Roo. They got to the stream and set the umbrella upside down in the water. Then they both climbed in and started to float away. I'm floating like a coconut, shouted Roo, jumping up and down excitedly. And what do you think happened next? That umbrella flipped the right way up, and Roo and Piglet had to swim to shore. When they got safely to the bank, Roo said, thanks for helping, Piglet, but maybe floating isn't the best way for me to travel either, and walked off. Soon, Roo came across Eeyore, the old donkey, who was eating a lunch of thistles. Roo told Eeyore about burrs and how they would stick to your fur and get a ride. How like them, said Eeyore, and went back to eating his thistles. While he wasn't looking, Roo snuck behind him and climbed up on his back for a ride. And when Eeyore left the patch of thistles, Roo went with him. Roo happily whispered, I'm riding like a cockleburr. And Eeyore stopped, looked around, didn't see anyone, shook his head, and continued plodding along. Roo held on as long as he could, but he got tired, and eventually he let go and dropped to the ground. Hello, Roo. You're back, said Eeyore. Roo yawned, thinking of a snuggly place for traveling and napping. Thank you, Eeyore, said Roo, getting to his feet. You helped me most of all. I did? Asked Eeyore. I'll fancy that. You're welcome, Roo. Roo hopped back to his mama as fast as he could. Kanga gave him a kiss, helped him into her pouch, gave him a pat on the head, and bounced off. Inside, Roo smiled sleepily. Traveling was fun, but he didn't need to travel to find a home on his own yet. He had a warm, snuggly home right here in Mama's pouch, with lots of room to grow. Well, that was our story for today. Roo learned something about what his home meant to him. Home was the warm, snuggly, comfortable spot in his Mama's pouch. Did you learn anything about what home means for you? If you did, I'd love to hear about it. My hope is that if our picture of home is a little bit clearer in our own heads, it'll be easier for us to light the way there. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Zach. That was wonderful. We've now come to our joys and concerns. This is a special time in our service when we invite you to share a joy or concern in your life. Open your participants window and raise a virtual hand if you have a joy or concern. If you are here on a phone without a screen, you can raise your hand by pressing *9. To speak, you have to unmute yourself, and once you've spoken, please remute yourself. Please respect the sacredness of this ritual. In order for us all to be heard, we must each keep our turn brief. Let's start by expressing our gratitude to all of the volunteer efforts seen and unseen that help our community hold itself together. I also today, on this anniversary, light a candle to mark the day when there was a mass killing of people because they were women at the École Polytech in Montreal. Let us not forget that. And now it's time. We're going to have a healing ritual, and Alan is going to accompany us and play A Place Where I Am Home.
A Place Where I Am Home.
Hi, everyone. I hope you'll join us in a ritual we've used at our congregation many times, and it's a healing ritual. Suzanne recorded this very nicely so that it could be part of it. I want you to know, though, that we can't cure anyone, yet I believe we can all be healed. A ritual is an event within a community where we hold each other in our figurative arms, especially now, because we can't be in the same room. We calm our minds, maybe close our eyes, and allow the chant to hold us. We give up control. It's like a long meditation with music. And the ritual is participatory. After I finish speaking to help us begin, Suzanne in this will be playing and chanting for all of us. While she's doing this, take your time to settle in, listen, and if you wish, consider the words of this chant. Then, if you're moved, send a note through the chat with the name of someone you wish to be heard by this sacred gathering. You can type in the Zoom chat the name for a person to be healed, or it could be your own. If you don't do this, just simply sit and rest. Hold the others and stay with us, becoming a community that can hold as well as speak about spirit. So put a name in the chat now or your own, and let's voice them to everyone. You might hold a hand over your heart. Lynn Evans, bless you. Chris, a heart for you. My partner, Ed Ross. For Graham and his family. Jose. My sister Michelle, love and healing. Gaetano. Julian McIntosh, BC mother, intubated and fighting for her life. My mom, who needs to be healed into death. Rose and Joe Mazars. Peace.
My son David.
My mom, who needs to walk again. Linda Carter, going through radiation. And my sister Anne. The elders in my First Nation community. Daniel. My grandchildren during this time. Your son David. My cousin Kimiko to heal her broken foot. And my mother Christina Zalokar. My son David and granddaughter Jessica. Nadine and her family in Guatemala. The children who can't see friends. My uncle Alex. Ibby. May the legions in her breast be healed, and may she stay well. My sister's boyfriend who chooses to sleep in a tent in a ravine. Howard McLaren, going through chemo. My friends who can't reach out. And now, if you can with me, what if you can put a hand on your heart? My mother, Kathy McIsaac, and the isolation we all experience. To you all, my dear neighborhood family. Our friend, Barbara. And maybe with one hand on your heart. you can reach out with the other. And we can hold each other with the authority that we bring, the healing we offer, and the kindness in our hearts. So bless our families, our loved ones, Pam and Linda and Jim. And now Alan will bless us with a sound, a chant.
I was afraid, afraid of the dark. Now I have found a place of my own, tranquil and safe, peaceful and secure. I will be reborn in this place where I am home.
Always hard for me not to cry during that ritual. And I have to say that we've forgotten to say that our new website is coming out, has come out this past week. Please take a look at it. Jose has done an incredible job building it and has had help from, among others, Kendra Pape and Moira and others who have helped do copy and pictures. Please take a look. It's still the same address, NUUC.ca. Thank you, Jose. You know, over the years, I've been walking on the beach almost every day. Joan and I, she's my partner, walk for about an hour. We've done it for years. We used to walk in the morning, but during COVID, we're now walking in the evenings between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. And the evening walk is different. When we used to walk in the morning at 6 a.m., no one was awake and the lights are out, people are asleep. But in the evenings, the houses are aglow. Yellow lights are on and the windows are clear and the drapes not yet drawn. You can see inside the houses, the apartments, the townhouses. People are eating and studying. They're watching television. Some of them are reading or making things at their tables. Sometimes they're even looking at you. There are children being carried and people hugging. Sometimes the scenes are so inviting, you want to walk up to the door and say, "Can I live here?" I'm joking, of course, but I bet you know what I mean. You know what I mean, I think, because we all want to come home. We want to go to a door somewhere and have the people in the house take us in and love us. We want the decorations in the house to be just right. We want a place that's quiet at night so we can rest and busy in the day so we're engaged and interested. We want a place to heal and a place to love. Seeing other people enjoying their homes reminds us how powerful the reality and the concept of home is, and how much we want to love our home. We know that every home is not happy too. Lovely homes can contain great conflict and pain, but even when home is difficult, it is still the place we seek, consciously or unconsciously. When I was a social worker long ago, I was struck by a scene where an abused child was being taken from her home by Children's Aid because she had been beaten by her mom. Yet she was screaming to go back to her mom, to go home. Going home is deep within us. Now we're being confined to our homes. And in some ways, this confinement is causing us to confront our concepts and our fantasy of home. And we all have a fantasy of home. It's created by memories we had as a child, or maybe it's the carefully designed fantasy home we've seen in stories and movies. These fantasies make us long for the perfect home. But the fantasies of our childhood or the designed homes in the movies are not ours. As adults, at some point, we have to build and rebuild our own homes. We have to be the ones that make them beautiful for us, not for anyone else. We are the ones that have to make them healing places, and we're the ones that have to make them delightful places. It's the task of being an adult, and these days spending long hours in them. So how do we recreate or renew the primitive and wonderful idea of home? We need something after sitting in that same chair for months. And fortunately, recreating home is in our bones. I'm going to massacre this poem by Edgar Guest. It takes a heap of living in a house to make a home. The sun and shade, or you sometimes have to roam, afore you really appreciate the things you left behind and hunger for 'em somehow, with 'em always on your mind. It don't make any difference how rich you get to be, how much your chairs and tables cost, how great your luxury. It ain't home to you, though it be the place of a king, until somehow your soul is all wrapped round everything. Yes knows it's not about how much we spend on our house that makes it home. It's about putting something of ourselves, our memories, our understandings, our soul in a house that makes it the home we want. We have to put our soul in them, and some of the smallest homes have wonderful souls. My aunt lived in 3 rooms with her husband and his brother, and her house was filled with soul, food and smells and flowers. It's how I survived, because I grew up in a house that had none of those things. Creating home is not just putting pictures up on the wall or painting the room a nice color, although these can be part of it. It's allowing ourselves to build a psychological and physical space that addresses our particular need for being human. And only you know how to do that. When Thomas More, the author, was here at Neighbourhood in our congregation, I was fortunate to spend some time with him in Toronto and in New Hampshire, where he lives. And we spoke one night about the need to re-enchant our homes. And by re-enchant, he meant that we might put things in our homes that caused us to remember, to dream, to laugh, to create. He wanted everyone to bring items of insight and beauty and smell to our homes. He built a desk out of yellow pine. It was actually called Sitka spruce. He loves that desk, the smoothness and the color, and he writes on it every day. At Saranac Lake, I have these 2 pictures in a meditation room. One of them is an abstract of a Native American in full color, pointing toward the sky. I love this picture. And the other is 2 primitive Native people, ghosts almost, seeing the moon cycles, who are deeply, quietly looking at you as if you matter and don't. And when I see the pictures, I see depictions of ego and soul, and they make me think of how I express my ego and how I might express my soul. What can you put in your home that reminds you of who you want to be or are becoming? What can you create that brings memories to your soul and hope to your conscious mind? How can you enchant your home? You know, we don't have forever. Why not make it about who we are and who we want to be now? I looked at our silent auction and saw many of us buying things to enchant our houses,
Mm.
some of us vibrating chairs to calm us down, healing massages to relax, readings to imagine our future, and NUUCs to remind us of the milestones we live. Psychologist Michael Tomsello has this great phrase. He says, a fish is born expecting water, and a human is born expecting culture. And I would add, a human is born expecting from that culture home. Do you remember the poem Dave read? When I write my checks, I want to feel that I am returning energy in the form of money for energy given in the form of service. It's all your energy. We are only each other's way to share in that great service, which is your life poured out continuously for us all without exception. Guard me against the arrogance of privilege, against the indulgence of feeling that I don't have enough, and the poverty of spirit. Granilla is enchanting writing checks. When she sits at the table, she brings the bills like flowers to her hand. She uses the pen like a brush, and she's writing checks in landscape. Imagine looking at rooms in your home differently. What could a hallway mean to you? It's the place you say hello and goodbye. How many goodbyes have you and I said in a hallway? Do you remember one goodbye that brought tears? A goodbye that could invoke the old meaning of those words, God be with you. Can you remember another time when goodbye meant good riddance? Have you laughed in your hallway? Why? Why did you laugh? Can you see that just by reimagining this place called home, it offers us a soulful perception into who we are and can guide us toward who we want to be? Tom Moore meant that enchanting the home can help enchant us. You know, music, smell, flowers, light, awareness, food, drink, memories, touch can enchant us. The enchanting of home, seeing with different eyes, helps with other things. It can help change our perceptions about how to live in a life. For example, during the pandemic, I'm cooking more, but there's only so much the fridge can hold, so it limits what I make or buy. The house limits us as it enchants us. There is a way our house can offer a reminder of Jillian's message last week of having enough. Then if we're lucky, the home we enchant and the home that has cared for us may be the last thing we will see in this world. This was her bedroom. It was here, you say, she laid in silence all that summer day, with roses how she loved them at her head, wreathed on the wall and strewn on the bed. Now she lies yonder in a somber pall. The dead leaves weave above her as they fall. The rains that beat the autumn winds that blow are making ready heavy shrouds of snow. The next time you look through your house, the way Proust said, with new eyes, enchant your house and know that it will enchant you. And if it enchants you, it will enchant those around you. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for those words, Wayne. It's now time for our offering. In these times of isolation, let's not forget that this congregation is a living entity and it must have nurture and sustenance. If you contribute by pre-authorized withdrawals, like my partner and I, thank you. That's the way we find most convenient. As we contribute to the life of this community, we affirm our lives within it. We can't pass the basket right now for those of you to make donations in that way. So we ask perhaps if you would consider writing a check or making an e-transfer, which is the most cost-effective way to give. Consider doing recurring gift. A link is now in the chat window, and all you need to do is click on it, and it will take you to our donation page. We're going to pause for a second now for those of you who want to take advantage of this, and Alan will play Magic Penny.
Love, 2, 3, let's give it. Love is something if you give it away, give it away, give it away. Love is something if you give it away, you end up having more. It's just like a magic penny, hold it tight and you won't have any. Lend it, spend it, and you'll have so many. They'll roll all over the floor. 2, 3, 4. Love is something if you give it away. Give it away. Give it away. Love is something if you give it away. You end up having more.
Thank you. And now it's time for our final song, and A Place Where I Am Home. And I would ask Alan if he would spend a second telling us a little bit about himself and introducing this song.
Oh my goodness. I'll say a tiny bit about myself. I've been singing in church for my whole life, and I just can't imagine a life that doesn't have singing together in it. I'm so grateful for every little thing that happens that allows me to meet the Echo Women's Choir, which is my one job that's kind of steady, every week online, and to know even imperfectly through a smudged glass how we can sing together when it feels like we're all alone by ourselves at home. So I'm going to ask you to try to activate yourselves at home. Remember, you have to use your body and stretch it out and get it ready to roll, right? So I'll sing the same song over and over and over, and I'll tell you where it comes from, and hope that you can grab the melody and sing with me as I go along. I'm going to try to sing in harmony with myself because I'm weak. I can hardly imagine a life without harmony. This comes from the YWCA Elm Center right downtown, near the Hospital for Sick Children. And it was written in a workshop with some residents of the place, some women who needed sheltered housing. And this is kind of a page from the book of Remembering on December 6th, where you actually think about the people who died and call their names up as an incantation. These, though, are people who lived and found shelter. And I'm just going to say their names. Stephanie Martin is the composer who wrote the piece, and she wrote it in consultation with some residents of the YWCA Elm Center. Their names are Janet, Anne, Lindsay, May, Salima, and Anna Lee. As you figure out how it's going, join me, even if I can't hear you. Let's see. Where's my cursor? Okay. I was afraid of the dark. Now I have found a place tranquil and safe, peaceful and secure. I will be reborn in this place where I am home. I was afraid of the dark. Now I have found a place of my own, tranquil and safe, peaceful and secure. I will be reborn in this place where I am home. I was afraid of the dark. Now I have found a place of my own, tranquil and safe, peaceful and secure. I will be reborn in this place where I am home. I was afraid of the dark. Now I have found a place of my own, tranquil and safe, peaceful and secure. I will be reborn in this place where I am home. I was afraid of the dark. Now I have found a place of my own, tranquil and safe, peaceful and secure. I will be reborn in this place where I am home.
Thank you for today's music, Alan.
Welcome.
I invite Zach to extinguish our chalice as we sing.
Although our chalice has been darkened, we hold the fire within our own hearts.
We have a tradition of circling around and holding each other's hands at the end of service. We can't do that now. So instead, let's everyone go to gallery view and unmute yourself. And together, let us say namaste, which means I salute the spirit within you. Now I ask congregation of NUUC, namaste.
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 Namaste,
doggy. Namaste to that dog.
Namaste, doggy. Namaste to the dog. Namaste.
Yes, namaste to the dog.
I miss dogs.
Namaste.
Thank you. Today I will leave you with these simple words from Wendy Wonder. What a wonderful name. The magic thing about home is that it feels good to leave, and it feels even better to return. Our service has ended. For those of you who do not wish to join a breakout room, thank you for joining us today. Everyone else who remains will be assigned to a breakout room. If you are a newcomer to our congregation, just stay in the meeting by saying later to the request to join a breakout room. Our minister or staff member will be there to talk to and answer any questions you might have about our faith or becoming a member. In the breakout rooms, today's question might be consider, what is your home? Breakout rooms will begin shortly. I say to everyone, go in peace.